Billy is a naughty dog. Billy loved to smell the garbage can. It always smells so amazing. He cannot understand why Charlie and Marjorie throw food in there and don't let him eat it. Yesterday they threw away a whole chicken carcass and wouldn't let him have any. Marjorie was cooking and Billy kept getting in the way, so she put him outside. The day was cold and windy. Billy smelled the flowers and went over to the big green bush at the bottom of the garden. He wondered if the door was still there. Billy pushed through the brush where it was dark, and it was quite hard to see under such thick brush, but he smelt again. The smell of bacon. Aha! He used his nose to guide the way. There was the door again. Billy went through the door, wondering if he would see the same thing. To his amazement, there was not a green field, but a cobbled street. Billy walked down the street and came upon a very large chicken. The chicken was bigger than Billy and was wearing motorcycle goggles. The chicken looked at Billy and smiled. Good morning. Billy was startled. He'd never heard a chicken talk before. Good morning. Can we talk? Chicken looked annoyed and said of course he could talk. Billy apologized and said that he'd never been here before. The chicken told Billy that his name was Roxy and asked if he wanted to be shown around. Billy thought this was a great idea, so Roxy beckoned him to follow. Around the corner was a motorcycle and a sidecar. Roxy held an extra pair of goggles in his hand and said to Billy, Here, you will need these. Billy put on the goggles and jumped into the sidecar. Without warning, Roxy sped off. The sound of the engine was loud, and so Billy could hear little of what Roxy was telling him. However, he didn't care. He was having a great time. They sped along cobbled streets, past a factory, billowing out black smoke, and raced by a palace. The houses then gave way to countryside, and they flew at top speed down narrow country lanes. At one point, Billy could have sworn he heard a fox yell, Slow down! Roxy didn't care. He was obviously having a great time showing Billy around. Hold on! He had Roxy yell, and they splashed through the waterfall. Roxy was smiling, and Billy was howling with pleasure. Roxy stopped at the top of the hill to watch the sunset. Billy was so happy he was lost for words. He tried to thank Roxy, but Roxy just lifted up her wing. Time to get you home, my boy. Roxy then raced down the hill, through the country lane, by the palace and the factory, and finally back to the point where they'd first met. Come and see me any time, said Roxy, before she screeched off in a plume of exhaust. Billy waved and could faintly hear his name being called. Billy went back through the door and went to tell Marjorie what had happened. Woof, woof, woof. Oh, Billy, where have you been? You're covered in twigs and all sorts of stuff. What's that, oil? Tar? Oh, Billy, you are such a naughty dog. Marjorie took Billy inside and gave him a bath. Billy tried to tell Marjorie many times about his adventure, but she just seemed a little annoyed. Billy jumped out of the bath and shook water everywhere. Marjorie tried to dry Billy off, but he just wanted to tell Charlie about his adventure. Marjorie chased Billy all over the house, trying to dry Billy. Billy thought it was great fun. Eventually, Marjorie made Billy sit on the floor on a rug to dry off. Marjorie stood over Billy and said, Oh, I love you very much, but you are such a naughty dog. Billy went to sleep by the fire and dreamt of chickens riding motorcycles.